Hi, my name is Wendy, and I would like to tell my story about breast cancer. In 2020, during the pandemic, I noticed that there was a lump in my breast. It's a very tiny one, but I could feel it nonetheless. It was at the surface of the skin, and I reached out to my doctor, my OBGYN, and he sent me to get a mammogram and an ultrasound. It had, because of my clothing, it was rubbing against it and kind of created an opening, and it drained. So I went for the mammogram and the ultrasound, and they told me it was a sebaceous cyst, which basically means it's a cyst that is underneath the skin. It's like underneath the surface of the skin, and they assured me it wasn't in the breast tissue or anything like that, that there was no cause for concern or alarm, that it was normal, and that they just drain and then heal up or whatever, and that they could come back and they could keep coming back, for forever. So I relaxed about that, followed up in another year. Again, another ultrasound and another ultrasound and mammogram. Same results, sebaceous cyst, no further orders indicated or necessary. However, I did schedule an appointment with a breast doctor because I wanted to, see what they had to say about it. He reviewed my files, took a look at it. At the time, it was sort of infected. It was a little red. It was draining, and he said, well, I'm going to give you some antibiotics, but this is just a sebaceous cyst, no cause for alarm. If you want to have it removed, the only way to get rid of it is by surgery, and that there's a shell that the fluid is inside of and that they would take it out. But he was sort of really laid back about it and said, as long as it doesn't bother you, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. So I didn't worry about it. I have a degenerative spine disorder. I focused on that. I also have custody of my granddaughter. She was a few years old, so I focused on her. I didn't worry about it. So it's time for my mammogram this year. I was a little late on it though, but I noticed that the cyst was, it looked like it was getting larger. So I went to my family doctor, who's in a completely different hospital network, than the OBGYN and breast surgeon and the mammography place that I went to. So he took a look at it, and he said, we'll go ahead and get you scheduled for a mammogram and ultrasound with our network hospital. So I said, okay. Did that. Really wasn't concerned or anything. My headspace was all about, I'll get this done, and then after the results come back, I'll go ahead and schedule with a surgeon and have it removed, just because it's time now. I've taken care of everything else, and I know it's kind of a pain to get surgery, for something that's no big deal. So I made the decision that it was time. My granddaughter's much older. She's 8 now. And my spine, I just finished my spine surgery. I had a fusion. So it was that time. So I went in and had the testing done, and the doctor who was reviewing my MRI couldn't identify it as a sebaceous cyst. So he came in and discussed it with me and asked, could he see it in person, because he was just reviewing the file or the film. So I showed it to him, and he was really iffy about it. And here I am thinking I know more than the doctor. I'm like, it's just a sebaceous cyst. This is what they've been telling me for 2 years. He's like, well, we're going to do a biopsy. Okay, no problem. So I did that about 4 or 5 days later. And then on April Fool's Day, I get the phone call from the doctor that I have cancer. I have stage 3 invasive ductal carcinoma. And I just dropped to my knees and cried. I couldn't believe it. This cyst that was no big deal, that could have been removed 2 years ago, was cancer. I had cancer. It's devastating. It really is, to go through this shock, knowing that you could have done something a long time ago. When you put your trust in doctors and you think that they know, you trust them. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I'm creating this channel for several reasons. One is to tell you ladies, if a doctor ever tells you not to worry, if you have a lump, if you have a lesion, if you have a cyst, don't take their word for it. Get a second opinion, okay? Over my journey, I'm going to document my thoughts, my feelings, my process, my treatments, stories, things you want to talk about, you know, other ladies who are suffering with the same thing. Other men, yes, men, you too can get breast cancer. Don't believe that that's just a gender thing, okay? And I just want to share my story, and I would like to let you other ladies and men know that you're not alone if you're going through this. And if I could save one person, just one, then this will be worth it, right? So, click like, subscribe, follow me. I will be on here once a day, no matter what, okay? You'll see me through chemo. You'll see me with talking about my dietary changes, whatever. If you want to talk about something, comment that below, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care now.